You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We have the cast of Netflix's She's Got to Have It in the building.
She's Gotta Have It.
She does.
Classic Spike Lee joint.
It's Spike Lee's first movie, right?
Spike Lee's first movie.
Yep.
Now, how close is the TV show to the movie? Because in the movie, the guy was a dude with a bunch of kids.
What? You're thinking of a
What I'm
completely
thinking about?
different movie.
What is She's
She's Gotta Have It. You're thinking of a whole different movie.
Which one I'm
This is
thinking
She's
about?
Gotta Have It with Nola Darling. She has 3 different boyfriends, right? And
Oh!
this guy.
You're right.
And
But
she's
I wanna know what movie
unapologetic
you're
about
thinking
I was thinking of the movie where the guy had all the kids. And
What?
That was a Spike Lee movie,
This movie
too.
had 5 kids.
It was
That's
Anthony
my
Mackie.
life.
Oh, She Hate Me.
She Hate Me. There you go.
The
There
God
you
is
go.
scary.
Let's
He said with 5 kids. I said, that's my life, man.
No, yeah, more than
That's
5. Yeah,
like-
like
that's a
20.
I got
documentary.
5.
Yeah,
man. I got
okay.
5.
This whole time I thought this was a She Hate Me. Okay,
No.
She's Gotta Have It. Yeah.
She's Gotta Have It was actually, I think right now in particular, is a great time for this
Yes.
Netflix series to come out. I did have a chance to see the first episode
Right.
already, and that movie is a classic movie in itself. Just the whole premise of it. It's a woman instead of a man with all of these different lovers, and they all pretty much know the situation, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right. That's exactly it. And yeah, it's weird how things time out, but here we are. And I think we could use a little female empowerment in the ether to combat all this, the conversation about harassment, and, you know.
You think guys will go for this? Like, do you think there's a lot
Yes.
of people in relationships now, like a woman who's like, I'm dating and sleeping with 3 different men? The only thing...
No guys are gonna go for this.
Depends who the woman is. Depends who the woman is.
That was Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, if you're in Rihanna's rotation.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're in Rihanna, Oprah's rotation.
You're like, it's fine.
Yeah. Depends who it is.
But a regular person.
I like how you describe it though. You say you're a sex positive
Polyamorous,
there you go,
pansexual.
pansexual. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I felt like when it came out in '86, there were no labels for it, and we have no shortage of labels for sexuality.
So you guys said no, you don't think that this could potentially happen.
It's not that it can't potentially happen. It's just, is it going to fly, and for how long? Is it going to be a fad thing? Is it going to be something that becomes part of our fabric? It's just a matter of putting it out there, addressing it. I think it's happening. It's just not being addressed.
What is pansexuality exactly?
Exactly what it sounds like. You know,
Having
you
sex
pan
with
the
a pan, bro.
camera. Yeah.
And the camera from one side to another.
That's why you can't learn anything nowadays. 'Cause when you ask serious questions, you get answers like that. What is pansexuality?
Pansexuality is in reference to not ascribing, like, homosexual, heterosexual. It's more open than all of the
So
above.
you're just greedy. You get everything.
I mean,
Everything.
yes. No, it's very
It's like
greedy.
a panoramic shot of a
Yeah.
picture.
Got you.
Well, let's talk about the 3 different guys who you are dating, and you guys can give a little background on who your character is and what it represents. Because I think every woman can say, man, if I could just put these 3 guys together, I'll have the perfect guy.
That's what she pretty much did right here.
She sure did. Well,
Into the mic.
I played Mars Blackman.
That was Spike Lee's original
It
character in the
was,
first one.
yeah, and I basically, Mars Blackman. This is Mars 2.0. I think Mars brings out the kid in Nola, and Mars kind of doesn't care what people have to say about him. And he's from the hood. He's from Brooklyn, and he's a man of the people, a man of the neighborhood, and he's an artist. He's a hustler. He got like 5 side hustles. You know what I'm saying? And his main goal is just to, kind of bring love and light in the hood, but and show Nola like that he's the dude.
Does he still live at home with his mama?
Well, he lives at home with his sister
Okay.
in the Fort Greene project.
What would make a woman want to, I guess, be pansexual? Is it a physical thing? Is it something you're searching for emotionally? Like,
I think it's all of the above. I think it's the recognition that you can't get everything you want from one person. I think that's what trips us up when we're dating. When you're like, oh, this person has to be all these things. Like, no one's meant to be that. So it's in recognition of that. And yeah, for Nola, it's definitely sex. It's definitely,
Gotcha.
Is
like
she
having
a sex addict?
She is not a
Not a
sex
sex
addict. That's
addict.
in the trailer. You know she's
Yeah,
not a sex
right.
addict.
Are you sure?
She loves sex.
well, whatever happened to the 80-20 rule? Like, you're not going to get everything from
80-20
one
rule.
person.
that too. That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
But let's talk about the other 2 guys and what you bring to the table as far as what
I
Nola's
want you to come back
looking
and
for.
answer that question. Okay.
Still on that one.
Because they were still going.
All right. Well, I'm Cleo Anthony. I play Greer Childs, and Greer is all about sexy fun. He's just the dude who
Sexy Fun.
Sexy Fun.
That's like a good scripper name.
Yeah, he's definitely about women and things that are, you know, he's an aesthete. He likes things that are pretty. He likes women that are pretty. He likes clothes that are pretty. He's
himself.
He's a pretty man. Yeah. So he brings that element to Nola's life of just the exotic and the atypical and just sexy fun.
Sounds like the evolution of a metrosexual.
Very much.
Remember
so.
that term?
Yeah,
Very much so.
Absolutely.
Yeah, in our version, he definitely is. Yeah.
So that's like a sexual, physical relationship more, you think?
Yeah. I mean, it starts out that way.
Oh, starts out that way.
Yeah, I think he grows, but yeah, that's where it comes from.
Okay.
He grows. Hey, I'm Lyric Benson. I play Jamie Overstreet, and Jamie's he's a conservative freak.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's not just a stuffed shirt. He's the kind of guy that is like an anchor and
A sugar daddy.
Very much so.
100%.
Thank you.
You don't need to stop. So he's a successful man who came through the hood and gone through all of that, and basically decided that he wanted more for himself, his family, and unfortunately, love found its way through Nola, and he's got a situation already.
A marriage?
He's got a situation already. and like most people, you might be in love with somebody, but then you find love somewhere else, and that's usually not supposed to happen. But when it does, it does. You can't really decide, and that's that love he has for Nola, and they go through some emotional things.
In that case, that's the perfect situation, though. Like, if you already got a woman, and then you dating somebody like Nola who's got 3 other dudes, like, that's great.
It seems it should be ideal, right?
I think it's only ideal when it's a thought, but when you're dealing with the emotion, when you're dealing with the heart, and
He falls for.
You know what I'm saying?
Basically.
But it's like it's so real though. You know, you're in a situation. There's other people you got to think about. You know, especially if there's kids and whatnot involved. You can't just run with the idea because it's just great that you have your cake and eating it too. And I think we're dealing with real issues that people can relate to, and hopefully we can bring certain things to people's minds so that they can figure out how to go through it.
I've always wondered, can you truly be in love with 2 people? Like, is the other woman, are you ever really in love with her? Like, because eventually you choose, right?
No, I have friends who are definitely polyamorous, and I know it takes a lot of scheduling and discipline and rules. So I feel like the irony of it is it actually requires a lot of, like, it's a free structure, but freedom always requires discipline.
Like a lot of maintenance.
That's why I would prefer polygamy over Polynesian sauce. I would prefer polygamy.
Sauce over here.
Well, that question is like saying, can you only love one of your 5 kids?
Hey.
That's the same question to ask. Do you love all your children?
Yeah and no. I'm thinking, if you've been with your woman forever, right, and then like another woman comes in the picture, you think you may love her, but it could just be lust. It could just be the feeling of something new, but you don't really love her.
Also, you have to think about the other
feelings?
person's feelings too. If you're hurting someone else.
Yeah. It's a very emotional, it's a very touchy subject. That's why She's Gotta Have It is so important, especially in 2017, because it brings all these things to mind, and then you can go through them.
And it'll spark a lot of conversation.
Just because someone was there first, though, that doesn't mean that that's the one you love. Like you say, if you were with your woman forever, you can be with a woman forever, but you could grow out of love.
Or you can
didn't do
grow
anything
into
wrong.
friendship love.
You can grow into friendship love where y'all end up like buddies, but someone else could come along and spark that fire back in your life. And you didn't start to dislike this person, or they didn't do anything wrong. They just,
Chapter 2.
It just changed into something
phases
else.
in life.
True.
Now, for DeWanda Wise, who plays Nola Darling,
Yes.
if you had to rate what's most important to you, is it fun? Put it in order, right? Fun, stability, or attraction? What order would you put that in?
Probably, I know attraction's last, sorry. My husband is incidentally handsome.
Only women can do that, by the way.
Only women can do
Guys
that. And he
always put
clowns me
attractiveness
all the
number one.
time. He clowns me all the time about all my exes. Sorry guys. I shouldn't have put that on. But yeah, probably fun first. I never really cared about stability either. Like, I remember first being married and he'd be like, I just want to provide for my wife. And I was like, what?
Where you from?
But you got your
I'm
own.
from Baltimore.
You from Baltimore?
You got your own though.
That's how I felt. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
can we do this together? Like, can we figure this out together?
So it's
but
fun, stability, and then attraction, you would
Yes.
say. For the guys, I'm just interested. If you had to put those three in order, how do guys rate that?
Man, she gotta look right.
The looks go after a
Oh, my
while.
God.
Looks could go after a
So
while.
first it's
But
attraction.
the looks is the
They
attraction.
can.
The looks is the attraction. That's the initial. Okay,
That's
we
what gets
got-
you in the
there's
door.
a momentum, and
Yeah.
then everything else got to follow
And then,
real
yeah.
quick. But
Yeah.
if you're serious about it, personally, if I'm serious about a woman, yeah, she's got to grab my attention.
So
physically.
what's after that?
And then she got to have some sense in her head.
So stability.
Stability.
Yeah,
Stability.
you can talk to her. You can have a conversation. She's not just a pretty face. And she's got to be caring. She's got to be giving. She's got to be thoughtful.
Oh, you adding stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, she asked for three things. All right.
But those are the qualities that make up one thing, you know.
No, where I'm at in life is totally different. Right now, it's attraction first. You get, like you
Okay.
said, that's the hello. That's
You put
the,
that last.
He's
in
like,
get
I'm
you
in a
in the
different place
door.
in my life. Attraction first.
Yeah, I need
Attraction first. And number
attraction.
2 is fun. I want attraction and fun. If you're not
Okay.
stable, as long as you're not coming after mine and you got your own thing, then let's just have fun. I'm not trying to build anything like long term at this point in my life. Right
FYI.
So you Grit Childs. So he's Grit Childs, true and true.
It's gonna be.
Especially with through the weekend. Especially with this new Netflix series coming out. Let's make it through the weekend.
Nah, man, I think. Look, I definitely it's about being attracted to someone,
No,
but you know.
attraction first again.
But it's not about being attracted. Like I'm attracted to you because you look good. I'm attracted because I've been attracted to some women that my family been like, yo, Aunt, for real? And I'm like, yo, son, there's just
how I
something
feel.
about her.
Yeah.
Yeah, after you hit, you feel that way.
Nah. I mean, something, you know what I'm saying? You see somebody, you catch a vibe, you catch an energy. You know, I think attraction is more than just, I see somebody and I'm
And it's good
attracted
looking,
to them.
right.
You catch a vibe, you catch someone's energy, and yo, you gotta make me laugh, man. You know what I'm saying? We can't just, because there's gonna be times where it's not, when you get in a long-term relationship, y'all ain't having sex all the time, every single day. Y'all probably getting down. Like, I mean, look, man, look, when you getting
word.
deep, you know what I'm saying? You ask anybody that's been married a long time, and people who I see their marriages, and I'm like, damn, I admire their love, and they tell me, they're like, yo, man, when you get deep in it, it's like
Friendship
it
is
becomes
everything.
less about.
Yeah, that's your partner.
It's
That's your homie.
about having that homie. It's about having that friend there, having somebody to do life with, and raise kids together and do all the things.
And I will say that is male privilege. Male privilege is being ugly and still getting a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
That's real.
Only guys can do that.
Yeah.
All day.
I think it's because women know that fool is gonna be on her like white on rice.
No, I don't think that's it.
I think that has something.
What
to
is
do
It's
it?
with
not.
Are y'all
That's
tell
some
us
ego
doing?
shit.
No,
It's
I
not.
think, no, I think
No,
that
it's
has
not.
something
It's
to do
exactly
with
what you said. I think attraction is I agree. I feel like attraction is a vibe, and I can say for me, intelligence was always like intelligence and humor got me every time. Like every time.
So you didn't have to be cute or handsome for you, as long as you were a little
Nah,
smart
like
and
if you
funny,
can,
good
if
money.
you can spit some brilliant shit, I'm like, hey, what's up?
And by the way, men don't think like that. You can be the smartest, funniest woman in the world, but if you don't look good,
Nobody cares.
Charlamagne
It's terrible.
every
My partner.
morning used to send out, who was it?
Inspirational quotes from
Inspirational
Maya
quotes.
I don't know
Angelou.
that guy you talking about.
Charlamagne used to send these quotes out to women because he was ugly, and he used to send these quotes
You
out.
did get really cute at some point.
Hey.
I mean, I can appreciate it.
Y'all
Like,
go watch
I'm a
Netflix.
grower
You gotta
too.
have it, baby. My new
It coulda
favorite
got
show.
much worse.
Hey. Now this show is gonna spark a lot of good conversations though, because people feel like women emotionally can't do what this character is doing.
Yeah, that's really weird.
They feel like she'll get caught up in love every single one of these guys.
Not Nola.
It'll be
Right.
interesting.
She's like no strings attached.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's
Basically.
definitely a no strings attached attempt, but it gets complicated.
But it's hard because I think for guys, a lot of guys would say, I would never do that. That'll never be me. In particular, this is a little tacky, right? To be laying in bed with one dude and another dude calls, and you answer the phone with him right there.
Guys do that all the
This is
time.
so much.
It is.
Guys do that
I
all
do
the time.
kind of feel like at
Oh,
least
no.
don't
No, if
answer
they know
the
their
phone.
position, then
What?
And that's my point. My point is people are doing it.
Yes.
People are
Gosh.
doing it. They're just not transparent about it. Like, yeah, no, you're not the only one. People just aren't taking that next step to be like,
Put it in your face.
you're not the only one on the roster.
That's kind of
And what about changing the sheets in between these guys? And
Oh, you
washing
can't-
the
we
sheets? I
changing
did
the
think that.
sheets.
I did think
You'll
that.
see it. We made sure that the color particulars were different.
Different.
Like
Yeah.
it wasn't
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like we had to make sure it was clear.
Because what's the rules when you have multiple sex partners? You have to change the sheets. At
You
least.
have to have impeccable hygiene. If you have
Absolutely.
multiple partners. in
Yeah, you
every
can't be
way.
raggedy and just Febreze. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
Impeccable hygiene.
You got to change the garbage cans too. If you got condoms in the garbage,
Yep.
you got to throw the garbage out.
Would they
Damn, that's-
explain why she only likes to sleep with the guys in her bed? Would they explain that?
Oh, do they explain that?
Wow.
No, she has a lot of rules.
That
They're
they
all in
all
her head.
follow.
It's season 1.
They're
man.
all in her head in my journal.
And when does this start? Premieres November 23rd, Thanksgiving. Day?
Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Diablo.
Oh, that's a good thing to binge on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
That's a great family. Let's all sit down and watch.
How was
She's
it?
gotta have
That's a
it.
family, and you know, maybe the old.
My family will
Oh,
all
your
sit down.
family.
My
My
family
family
will all
will
sit
watch
down
it
and watch
too.
it.
How
If
was
you're
it?
age appropriate.
They're age appropriate.
How was it working with Spike? Because I mean, all of y'all look like thespians. Like y'all have this thespian look. Like y'all look
There's a
real.
look.
Yes. So how was it working with him? He's a legend.
Oh man.
look, working with Spike, man. First and foremost was a dream, yo. Like, he's from Brooklyn and I'm from Brooklyn, and I'll never forget the first time I met him, yo. I was in this musical on Broadway, Hamilton, and Spike.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, we go
might
to
be
Bow, and it's off Broadway, and the lights come up. And all of a sudden, Spike's in the second row, and he's clapping his hands mad aggressively and pointing, and clapping his hands and pointing. And then my boy Chris,
Spike saw Hamilton 8 times.
eight times, and my boy Chris Jackson, we bow, and Chris he whispers to me, he's like, he ain't pointing at me. and Spike calls me shortly after, man, and that's really how this happened, and getting on set with him and being with him and watching him work. Sometimes I would stay on set and just watch him work because he's a legend, and the dude works so efficiently and fast and knows what he wants, you know what I'm saying? And to watch one man control a set like that is something that you can't explain, you know what I'm saying? And so I think it's been a dream to work with him, man. And I think hopefully the show and the work exemplifies, you know,
reflects
what
that.
starts at the top, you know what I'm saying?
I'd like to hear that. I'd like to hear everybody's Spike experience now.
My Spike, I always qualify it as Spike courtside at a Knicks game. Like that's Spike. Take that Spike and then put him on a film set, and that's what you got. It's that high energy. It's very fast and furious. He's still such an artist, which you don't get with a lot of directors who have had his experience. Like normally they're a little jaded. They come in and like, what are we doing today? But Spike came in every day, you know, with this energy, and you're like, I gotta match it, you know. And he keeps you on your toes because he's just like, yeah, we're not doing that today. We're doing this, and you're like, okay. So go memorize this. Cool. Let's go.
Yeah, no,
Spike.
definitely. I think with Spike, I had to get sharp. Like I would always come to set. I knew my stuff, and I figured, yeah, we'll figure it out as we go. Spike will switch the script on you so fast. I remember one day we had to film on a Thursday, a Wednesday and a Thursday, and I show up on Wednesday and I say, okay, this is what I'm doing Wednesday, and then I got like 7 pages on Thursday. I'll learn that tonight. And at lunch,
I
Spike's
told
like,
you not to do that.
she told me not to do that. At lunch, Spike was like, yo, Greer, we doing tomorrow after lunch. And I was like, what's that mean? He said, everything we supposed to do tomorrow, we doing after lunch. I said, Spike, I got 7 pages to learn in an hour. After he said, figure it out, we gonna get through it. And we got through it. And it was something that I would have deemed impossible. And the lessons you learn on set with that man, just like you come up every day, like your game elevates on a daily basis just being around him. And I'm not trying to like toot his horn. It's just a fact. You get tight around somebody like Spike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of everything they said, I agree with. For me, it was. I mean, Spike, he works, he functions, he fires on a different frequency, and it's a frequency of genius. And I can't expect to understand everything he does. I'm not a genius, but it's great to be in that presence and to know that you're shooting for the stars, but you're always around that moon. You're not back on Earth because you're on that frequency. You're in that area, and everything they said, it's you just get better. If you were good, you're now great. And he is constantly firing at that frequency, and it's just something you have to experience because you can't put it into words because no one knows what it is.
Yeah.
He Mars Blackman is a character that's in his head that he shared with the world. That's how Spike thinks, I think. You know, he's a Mars Blackman, and who would ever think like that and to be like that and and understanding it's just a different frequency, and we're experiencing something right now. We're in it right now, and maybe 30 years from now we'll look back and we're like, oh, that's what that was.
Right.
But but we don't know until 30 years from now what it's going to be.
And Spike creates iconic characters. He thinks in an iconic way. He sees the world iconically. So when he films, you see, you could watch a clip of film, not know who made it, and you'll be like, oh, that's a Spike Lee joint.
Absolutely.
Because that's how he sees
the way he shoots, the way he sees
That's how he
things.
sees the world.
Yeah, yeah.
Does Mars suck on Nola's nipples in this one?
Nah, but he sucks on her toes. And he talks about it too. Nah. I didn't have to, but I talk about it though, and I talk about it. No spoiler.
But he would do it if it caught.
Hell yeah, he would suck on
Nola.
Nola's toes. Whatever
Absolutely.
she wants. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Now, what about Nola's friends, right?
Yes. Right. That was my favorite edition of the update. Like, oh, Nola has friends. Hey.
Right. One of them actually used to be her roommate.
One of them used to be a roommate. Her type A friend used to be a roommate. And then her around the way friend, played by China Lane, who was one of my favorite actresses.
Yeah.
What's up, baby?
And also, that's also one of my favorite storylines, the actually dealing with black girl body issues, because everyone just thinks we're like, I'm confident and I love myself at all times, you know? But yeah, Nola's friends are everything in our update.
And they're not judgmental.
No.
Because sometimes if you have a friend and you're like, okay, I'm sleeping with 3 different guys, they're like, girl, we got to talk.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason. If you knew somebody in real life that was like that character, would you think that she had some issues? She's a freak, you know, she's a sex addict. What would you say?
They would call her a hoe.
Definitely would call her a hoe.
There'll be names, and then there'll be names for
there will be.
Nola in 2017.
Yeah.
There's going to be some people who are going to be like, "Are you crazy? Like, what imagery?"
Yeah,
are
there
you
are
putting
already
out there?
there are already people
But I
who are
think
like that.
again, we're addressing things that are actually happening, and just like people coming out of the closet for other things, we coming out of the closet with this issue because people are doing it.
And by the way, guys
She's doing what men do.
Yeah, but you see, you say that, but guys don't get props for that anymore. I mean, maybe it's because I'm older. I look at dudes and I'm like, you slept with her, you sleep with 2 girls in one day?
Good for you.
I mean, but that's just me.
Be equally judgmental.
That's because he's older now.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
older.
different.
I'm like, you got the energy to do that?
See,
That's how I feel. I'm there. You have
It's
the
not
energy.
about the morals, damn. I don't got the energy.
Oh, so it's not because you think it's nasty. It's just you
No,
don't
I
got the
think
energy.
Well,
It's
now
both.
he's
I think it's nasty.
nasty. But 10 years ago, Charlamagne.
No, I think
Was it
it's the
different?
energy
Different
thing. Plus, I just think it is kind of nasty in this day and age with
Yeah.
all these
It
STDs
is.
flying around. Like,
Well, I will say this because I feel like, I've seen the whole series and I did not see any close-ups of the condom wrappers that are on the nightside table. So anyone watching,
There is
just
condoms.
know
Oh,
that
yeah.
there were condom wrappers on the nightside table.
y'all gonna get that. Why do people care about stuff like that? That's why I'm getting mad at Insecure
Because it's
about
not
that.
right. Because it's not correct. Like it's just not. Like you just said, we're not in a space where we just can walk in and be like, oh my God, yes,
There's a certain
and not be like,
responsibility that has to be taken.
yeah, put on a
Absolutely.
condom.
If you're gonna be, especially if you're gonna live that kind of lifestyle, you gotta
Right.
be
Be
responsible.
safe.
Gotta be safe.
My last question is, where does She's Gotta Have It? Where is it gonna fit into like this new Black Hollywood renaissance? I think we're seeing in film and television.
Iconic.
I mean, yeah, she's she's one of our only cinematic icons. Like I was trying to think about it the other day, and I was like, Cleopatra Jones, Foxy Brown, Nola Darling, maybe homegirl from Love Jones. You know what I mean? Like Nia's character from Love Jones. But we don't have many. And any time anyone puts it near Insecure, I'm like, that's because we only have 2 shows where it's a chocolate black girl in her 20s. That's the only reason why it's a point of comparison, because there's just 2. So we happy to be a part of the lexicon and more.
Did
more
you guys
stories.
change your views on relationships and kind of the I guess motto for what a woman is and what a man is while you were filming this? Did any of your views change?
For me, what I try to do is just look at from Jamie Overstreet's point of view and not worry about these other guys. And I think Spike subconsciously or maybe purposely shot it like that
way.
because I never saw these guys
Until
until
it was time.
Until
Until it was time.
Right, yeah.
But I was always on set, just me and Nola. And I'm like, is there anybody else in this movie?
Right.
I would never see these guys. I might
true.
pass them in the hallway, when I'm done and they're coming in or something like that. So I didn't really have to think about what's going on with them.
But did it change your views in real life? Just doing this and coming across a character like Nola Darling?
Like the project itself, it makes you think. It makes you think, and then you kind of have your opinions about it. But did I make a final decision on how I felt? No, because I'm kind of also waiting on how it's received by the people, because that's where it all lies.
Well, personally, it didn't change my views. I've always had that mentality that you do you, and
Just be
we'll,
honest.
We'll get up, keep it 100, keep it on and we will if we're communicating and you got things to do over here, this part of town, you're gonna be gone. Because in the industry we are, sometimes we're away for months at a time. You take care of yourself and be safe. And when I see you, then we'll have some fun, and we just let it ride. And
Still a player.
See how it plays. But it's like I'll be a player, but you be a player. You do your thing, and we'll keep it real with each other, and no one gets hurt.
I just wonder, when do you stop playing? Because if the girl, say you start liking the girl, and then you be like, you know what, I think we need to get serious. You're like, no. She's like, no.
Watch the show. That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
I'm like, maybe
Gotcha,
that'll be
gotcha.
season 3. We'll see.
And men are so competitive. It's hard to think that they also want to make sure they're the one.
They're the best.
It's the ego, right?
That must be
ego.
hard on your
It's ego.
vagina though, because if I'm with you, I'm trying to knock it out because I know he trying to knock it out, and I know he trying to knock it out. I want you to be
Vagina's
like,
amazing.
Knock it out
So you
mean
try to-
aggressive? Like what?
So you
Knock
try
it
to
out
impress
to be
But I think it's
Violent.
But it might. But it's just really her taking 3 dudes and smushing them into one person,
Right.
honestly,
Yeah.
or
Trying to get
one
everything.
being
That
for
perfect
herself.
match. All 3.
So it's like she's probably sleeping with these 3 guys as much as she would probably sleep with her one
guy.
person.
Right.
But she's just getting all the flavors of,
Right.
you know what I'm saying,
Can't
as
wait till
opposed to one.
season 2 or 3.
As dudes, we think about it from a physical, and she's coming from purely emotional, and so that what you're
Is
saying.
she
what
coming
you-
from purely emotional?
Well,
Or does she gotta have it?
Right.
Okay, so then I'm
Yeah.
a co-sign with you, man. You must be hurting then.
Women always say they want more than one man till all of y'all pull up together and y'all like, what's up?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
We all
you
coming
wait.
in.
Be careful what you
We all
ask.
coming in.
Be careful what you ask for. You might
That's what I
get
can't wait till like season 2 or 3 when y'all just run a train on it. That's gonna be
November 23rd, Thanksgiving Day. We appreciate you guys for joining us.
Thanks for having us, man. Thanks for
Thank you,
having
man.
us.
Now, if it
Appreciate
wasn't Trey, who would go first? I'm just kidding. All right. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.